Welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, featuring the head coach of Nicholls State University Baseball, Seth Thibodeaux. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. The Seth Thibodeaux Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. Good afternoon and welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm Mike Wagenheim alongside the head coach of the Nicholls baseball team, Seth Thibodeaux. First place, my friend. It's got to feel good right now.
It does, and we're down the backstretch, so it's an exciting time in this season.
3 weeks left in the regular season now. The Colonels are all alone atop the Southland Conference. Still a whole lot left to be accomplished right now, but you guys have to be feeling good about themselves and their effort this past weekend.
A big weekend against a tough opponent, and we made sure we took care of business at the right time, but we got some big games ahead of us, so we're staying hungry, and we're going to make sure we do everything we can to stay even keel and make sure we take care of business.
Now, you hosted UNO this past weekend. The Privateers are new to the league, haven't had a great season so far, but they beat UL Lafayette, which was ranked number 1 at the time of that defeat. So they're a capable team, and they gave you all they had this weekend.
They absolutely did. They're a tough team to put away. They don't give in. They're very, very, very competitive. They fight in the plate, and they really compete at the plate. And they keep coming at you on the mound, and they make plays, and they try to do everything they can to stay in that game, and they did a good job of that this weekend.
Fortunately, the Colonels emerged victorious from every game this past weekend. Friday's opener in Thibodaux served as the Colonels' annual pink game for breast cancer awareness, and Nicholls Student Union Director and breast cancer survivor Brandy Toops was on hand to toss out the first pitch. Those pink jerseys were auctioned off to raise money for cancer research. We'll talk much more about that later. UNO's Reese Canner delivered an RBI single in the top of the first. Bottom one, Nicholls DH Seth Stevens earned his way back into the lineup, and he doesn't intend to leave it. A 2-run single off of UNO's Nick Halliday. This looked like it would be a big inning for Nicholls, but they settled for just those 2 runs as Phillip Lyons and Leo Vargas score. Stevens, though, was just getting started. Into the second we roll. The Colonels string together 4 consecutive hits. With the bases loaded and 1 out, Keith Cormier adds to his team-leading RBI total. The fly ball falls in center, chasing in Christian Correa and Lyons 4-1 in favor of Nicholls. Now, this would be the last man Halliday faced as Stevens comes up to the plate here, and he would drive one into the opposite field gap. Vargas and Cormier come around. Stevens goes 4 for 4 with a double, a triple, and 4 runs batted in. It is 7-1 in favor of Nicholls. What a day for Seth Stevens at the plate here. We go to the 3rd inning. Brandon Jackson getting a rare start at first base for the Colonels. Taylor Bird induces a Hezekiah Randolph grounder. It looks like a double play, but Jackson can't hang on at first. UNO goes on to score 3 runs in the frame to make it 7-4. Now, bottom of the 3rd, Daniel Martinez on the hill, and he plunks Christian Correa. Home plate umpire James Meyer deems it intentional and tosses Martinez. There was some jawing coming from UNO throughout the game. Credit UNO's bullpen, though. Raymond Winter and Seth Lagas combined to go the rest of the way with no runs allowed. Meanwhile, Bird settled in. He gets Mitchell Alexander looking in the 6th. Bird goes 6, allowing 3 earned runs on 9 hits with 4 punch-outs. It's still 7-4 into the 9th inning. Nicholls closer Mark Picciola loads the bases with no outs. In comes Stuart Holmes. He gets Randolph to hit into the fielder's choice. The out at home. Then Correa bluffs to first, but actually throws back to 3rd, where the shortstop Vargas snuck in and backpicked Zach Liberto. What a way to turn 2 as the Colonels get themselves out of a major jam. Next batter is Canner. Grounder up the middle, Lyons showing range, then flips the ball out of the glove to Vargas. The defense comes to the rescue in the 9th as the Colonels take the series opener. Heart was racing there in the 9th, Coach.
Yeah, it was. It was just a really good Friday night college baseball game, and UNO competing really hard. The emotions of the game maybe caught us a little bit, and we fell asleep in the middle innings, but, man, to be able to make clutch plays at the end like that from a couple of seniors was big. So you talk a lot about, clutch hits or clutch pitches, but we made some clutch defensive plays right there and got out of a big jam.
And that double play, something you guys work on, is sneaking in at 3rd base there, and you've done it a number of times in practice, and nice to apply it to a game situation.
Yeah, you never really get to see it much, and finally it worked for us. And like you tell you guys when you practice it, guys, this may only happen once, twice, 3 times in a year, maybe. and there was that one time that it came, and it was fun for them to be able to execute that play.
Taylor Bird in the running for pitcher of the year. His numbers a little bit more inflated than they should have been this past weekend. If the Colonels turn that double play there, he probably gives up one run, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, but if we turn a double play there, he might throw 30 less pitches and maybe a little more crisp as we go throughout the game. So we got to make sure we take care of that, and we will, and he'll be just fine.
Win's a win. Game 2 on Saturday. The series shifts to Main Street Field in New Orleans. The Colonels facing right-hander Darren McKigney and string together 3 consecutive hits to start the game. But on this Keith Cormier single, UNO right fielder Andre Damians cuts down Phillip Lyons at the plate. Nichols would leave the bases loaded in the first and second innings and came away with nothing either time. Bottom 1, Privateers jump on Grant Bourne as Reese Canner launches one over the right field fence. His 3rd homer of the year. It's a 2-run blast to put UNO on the board. First home run allowed all year by Bourne. Still 2-0 in the 5th. Colonels load him up again. Lefty Mitch Cohen in to face Seth Stevens, base knock, scoring Lyons to cut the deficit in half. Cohen, though, strikes out the next 3 in a row. Nichols stranded 14 runners on the day. Let's head to the 6th inning of play. Colonels benefit from a controversial obstruction call as Leo Vargas, golfing a pitch at his cleats down the third base line here. It chases in Christian Correa and Justin Holt. Correa was able to stay alive on the base pass because of that call. Nichols up 3-2 after Vargas stole third base. Keith Cormier added the sac fly to make it 4-2. Into the 7th, Correa stayed alive on a controversial tip call that was ruled to have grazed the dirt. He hangs in there and doubles over the head of the center fielder, Mitch Alexander. This 2-bagger plates David Zorn, stretching the lead to 3 runs. So into the 8th now. Vargas leading off against Cohen again, and Leo blasted just inside the left field foul pole. His 2nd long ball of the season. Vargas went 5 for 5 on the weekend. He hit .600 with 1,000 slugging percentage and was named the Southland Conference Hitter of the Week. But the Colonels give a couple of runs back here in the bottom half of the 8th. After Andre Damians doubles in a run, Tyler Duplantis tries to tag out Damians on the Cameron Hoffman bouncer, but he drops the ball. It would have been the 3rd out. Instead, 2-run score, and it's now 7-5. We've got a ball game here. But Nichols scores an unearned run in the 9th, and Mark Frazier comes on to take care of business. He fans Canner here. UNO leaves a pair on. Frazier with his first save of the season, and Nichols wins it by a final score of 8-5. Coach, you show some confidence there in Frazier coming into the ballgame.
Mark Frazier's been a guy that we've really wanted to see throw at the back end of a baseball game and be a closer type and help Picciola. And maybe, when Picciola's a little tired or he needs to rest, we have Mark Frazier there because he's got the same type of fastball. He's got some sink on it, and he's very competitive, and he's got that closer mentality. So we can look to see that a little bit more this season.
The Colonels have been a very good defensive team this year, and they're among the national leaders in double plays turn, and it really hasn't been a weakness this season. There were some kinks in the armor this weekend. Fortunately, you still came away with victories, but some stuff there to clean up.
Definitely some things to clean up as we head into a big weekend ahead of us, but it's just taking care of the baseball. It's concentration, it's focus. It's a part of the season where you're starting to get a little bit fatigued, and you got to make sure you focus and keep your mind on it, and it's something we'll clean up.
What else have you taken away from this weekend?
Well, ultimately, for us to get a sweep, anytime you sweep anyone in Division I college baseball, it's huge. It puts us ahead of where, it puts us right where we want to be. But I do know that we see there's some things we need to work on and make sure we take care of business. We need to work on some things defensively and offensively to make sure we shore ourselves up heading into the postseason.
Now the Colonels going for that 2nd Southland Series sweep back at Didier Field in Thibodaux for Sunday's finale. First inning of play, Brandon Jackson working to Samuel Capilano, who slices one down the right field line and into the bullpen. I want to talk about some defense here. You'll see it. Capilano is going for 2. How about this throw from Keith Cormier from the bullpen mounds to nail Capilano? And he's out of the inning. Brandon Jackson gets out of the frame there. Nichols much better defensively on Sunday. Home half of the 1st. An error and 2 hit batters loads him up for Charles Morton. Base hit off of Alex Smith. Lyons scores. Morton in the lineup for the first time all weekend, getting it done. The UNO had a really thin bullpen heading into this game, and the Colonels were just trying to bounce Alex Smith out of there as quickly as possible. Next man up is Tyler Duplantis, back up through the box. Capilano, the shortstop, keeps it in the infield, but everybody moves up. Vargas scores. David Zorn would add a sac fly to make it 3-0. Jackson held UNO in check through 4, but in the 5th, Damians drives in a couple of runs on this opposite field base hit. Jackson, though, who only threw 4 innings over the last 2 weeks, had plenty left in the tank for the Privateers. Into the 6th we go. UNO strands 2 in scoring position coming up here as Jackson fools Hezekiah Randolph before fanning Damians. This is Randolph at the dish here. Jackson with 7 strikeouts on the afternoon. The Colonels got an RBI single from Justin Holt in the home half of the frame to make it 4-2. Bottom 7, 2 outs and the bases loaded for David Zorn. It looks like Nichols will tag Smith again, but Reese Canner makes the tumbling catch and New Orleans stays within reach. The Bucks run themselves into the second out coming up here before Canner singles to right field. That would plate Zach Liberto. Mitch Alexander ends up at third, and the tying run, folks, is just 90 feet away. The Colonels can just not shake the Privateers. Even with a fresh bullpen, though, Coach Tibbs sticks with Jackson, and he would be rewarded here as Jackson fans Capilano to end it. Nichols a 4-3 winner. Brandon Jackson with the first complete game win for a Colonel pitcher all year. Second Southland Series sweep for Nichols. The Red and Gray started the weekend in a 3-way tie for first place. They ended all alone at the top. Coach leaving Jackson in there, a gutsy move, and he showed he can get it done.
I felt like he was still fresh. I felt like he still had his velocity, and he still had his arm side running, and he still had his breaking ball. And a senior in that situation is what I want. And he delivered for us against probably their best hitter in the lineup in a crucial situation. And we have to have that in the postseason. We have to have that in clutch games, and it certainly worked out for us the right way.
I'm not saying there's benefit to letting a team get back in the game, but those kinds of games, even though they were closer,
Sure.
and I guess they should have been, those might benefit you in the postseason. Having played in those types of situations, the more experience you get, the better.
The more experience you get, the better, and the less comfort you have at this time of the season is important, and it keeps us hungry and keeps us humble, and it makes us understand that at any point in time, if we don't take care of our business, we're vulnerable. And so it's easy to coach when we're at that position. And so I'm looking forward to getting these guys in practice this week and working out and iron out some kinks.
Had some changes in the lineup throughout the weekend. Charles Morton has been in and out. Seth Stevens now seems to be finding a place in there as well. Justin Holt has gotten some starts out in center field. Do you feel comfortable at this point, or do you continue to try to tinker?
No, I'm pretty comfortable with what we're going to do from here on out. And I just wanted to make sure I had some guys a couple at bats and make sure anything that's lingering in the back of your head is out of your mind. And so moving forward, we're pretty confident and we understand what our team is, and we're looking forward for the stretch.
Now 3 weeks left in the regular season. The Colonels are on top of Southland, 1 game in front of Texas A&M Corpus Christi, along with Sam Houston, Northwestern State, and McNeese State in the hunt. Southeastern Louisiana and Central Arkansas are tumbling. Oral Roberts, Houston Baptist, and Stephen F. Austin are on the outside looking in on one of those 8 tickets to the league tournament. Still a very competitive race.
Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. We say it every year, but this year more than any, you've got guys that are 9th or 8th, 9th, 10th spots. They're not too far behind, and any good weekend can put them right back in there, and any bad weekend from anyone at the top can put you in a little bind. So we just need to take care of our business, and it's fun to look at this as a fan, but ultimately as a coach, you just look at your matchups for the next game and make sure your guys are ready to go, and that's my job, and I need to make sure our guys are prepared and ready to go.
Humongous weekend coming up. We've got complete coverage of Nichols baseball on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. Nichols taking on Southeastern Louisiana this weekend. The Colonels will visit the Lions on Friday night in Hammond. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock. The scene will shift to Thibodaux on Saturday for Game 2, also at 6, and then it's back to Alumni Field for Sunday's 1 p.m. finale. All games will be carried live on KTIB 640 a.m. The Colonels, the Lions, postseason implications, championship hopes. Doesn't get better than that.
It'll be a blast. It's always intense. And, I coached their head coach, Matt Reiser, when I was just starting out and coaching and at Pearl River Community College. So there's a lot of emotions and friendships and relationships there. So it'll be a fun weekend.
We're looking forward to it. Folks, we're going to take our first time out. We will be back with more here on the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, in just a moment.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety. But did you know they're the only hospital in the region to offer advanced concussion testing technology? That their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they provide prevention education to coaches, athletes, and parents? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
You know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day.
And get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Back here with you on the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm Mike Wagenheim, alongside the head coach of the Colonels, Seth Thibodeaux, his club in first place in the Southland with 3 weeks left in the regular season. And as we sit here, we learn about an addition to the schedule. Why don't you tell us about it?
We're going to pick up a game next Tuesday night, which is May 6th, against Alcorn State. Those guys are going to be done with their season, and they're going to be, of their regular season, they're going to be looking to add some games before they start their postseason, which is 2 weeks away. So we're not done. We lost a game to Sacred Heart, so we want to pick up a game, and they were a team that matched up with an open date. And what it's going to turn out to be, after speaking with Rob, is we're going to have a fan appreciation night and free admission to the game, which should be exciting, and it'll be fun to play another home game. I know our seniors will be excited about it.
That'll be this coming Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Correct.
All right. Well, the Colonel baseball team is very active here in the community, and over the last few years, Coach Thibodaux has partnered with our friends at Thibodaux Regional Medical Center to help make our region a better place to live and live longer. Alex Tullis has the story.
Nichols took the field Friday night without their traditional red and gray garb, but it was all in support of a great cause. The squad wore pink jerseys during the game in order to help raise awareness for breast cancer research. The pink game has become a tradition on campus and is held in conjunction with Thibodaux Regional Medical Center. This concept came together during a local fundraiser for breast cancer awareness.
Originally, this started out with Mr. Greg Stock and I when we were at the Beast Feast. About 3 years ago, we talked about having a pink game and doing an auction and auctioning off the jerseys. And it went so well that first year that we decided to turn this into a tradition and do it every year.
Funds are raised during the game for the Susan G. Komen Foundation by auctioning off player jerseys right inside the Didier Field gates.
I think any opportunity to put breast cancer in the forefront in the community is a great thing. It's a great cause. All the proceeds from tonight go to the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which actually is wonderful in providing education and in screenings through grants that we issue in the 5 parish regions.
Well, certainly passion is a big part of getting people fired up to give money. Passion is beautiful, but if we don't have money to be able to do research, then research can't be done.
Thibodaux Regional Medical Center sponsors this occasion and is proud to work with the Nichols family.
We have a great partnership with Nichols in various events in various ways. As a matter of fact, the Nichols baseball team actually comes to the Cancer Center and talks to our patients during treatment. So it's really a neat partnership. It helps bring awareness to the community about breast cancer, and it's for a great cause, so we were happy to do it.
The Colonels try to do their part in raising awareness by holding this event. However, it's up to each individual to take necessary steps to recognize the early signs and symptoms.
People should do a self-breast exam. Probably even the guys ought to check their breasts out every now and then. 1% of breast cancers are in men. So breast exams should be done about once a month. I tell people now in the cell phone age to put it in your cell phone with on the calendar with an alert that reminds you to do it.
Although Breast Cancer Awareness Month is traditionally held in October, the Colonels have found a way to recognize this important topic during their season. For the Seth Thibodeaux Show, I'm Alex Tullis.
Thank you very much, Alex. We appreciate it. Mike Wagenheim back here with head coach Seth Thibodeaux, and you guys do such great work in the community.
We enjoy it. Our players really enjoy it. Our coaches really enjoy it, and the community really enjoys it. And so it's our way of giving back. I want when our players come here they don't always expect, things with their hands out. We want to make sure we're doing something to give back.
I think that pays dividends in the long run. The way these guys work, their ethic, they get that coming into the program. It's put out there right away. Listen, you're not just baseball players, you're a member of this community.
We're part of the community, we're leaders, and when you leave here, you're going to do the same thing for someone else at another community somewhere. So it's important. It's part of leadership. It's part of teaching and these guys developing and they're grown men.
While the Southland Tournament is still a few weeks away for the baseball team, a number of our programs entered their postseasons last week. Tiffany Williams brings you our weekly Nichols Athletics Roundup.
Several Colonel teams saw their championship hopes dashed in the postseason last week at the Southland Conference Championships. However, there was still much to celebrate and look forward to for next year. The golf program concluded their season with a 10th place finish in the Southland Conference Tournament in McKinney, Texas after leapfrogging Oral Roberts in the third and final round. Senior Marcus Fox saved his best round as a Colonel for last, posting a 3 under 69 during the final round. Both he and Adrian Lasek wrapped up their careers. Meanwhile, the women and men's tennis teams were knocked out of the opening round of the Southland Championships in Corpus Christi, Texas. The women entered the tournament as the number 4 seed. This was the first time since 1999 they advanced to the postseason. However, the Colonels would fall to number 5 seed Stephen F. Austin 4-1 on Friday. This loss would leave the Colonels with a 15-8 mark on the year. The club was led by second-team All-Southland singles honoree Stephanie Barnett and SLC number 5 singles champion Isla Brock. Even with the defeat, the Colonels still have much to be proud of.
I'm very happy with the girls in terms of their attitude and what they're willing to do, to get to that championship round next year. And I think these girls, and I've got another good girl coming in who kind of falls into the same philosophy of these girls. And I'm very happy, very proud, very happy with the girls. Happy for the ones, like I said, who didn't make it, haven't made it before. But a little sad for the ones who are making it for the first time, and then they go there and then they realize that they haven't really been doing what they need to be doing to get there and do well. So it's a lesson they learn. So they'll learn it. It's a hard lesson, but if they're in the right frame of mind, they'll do something about it.
The men's tennis squad held the number 2 seed, but were upset by third-seeded Lamar 4-1 during the semifinals on Saturday. The Colonels end their season with an overall 11-13 record, but recorded their most conference wins since joining the league in 2005. Partha Atavelli took home Conference Freshman of the Year honors, while Nico Mertens picked up the SLC number 2 singles championship, along with first-team all-singles and second-team all-doubles honors. Bernard Wiesman won the Southland number 4 singles title while garnering first-team all-doubles placement.
You got to come back hungry. You got to want it, like really, really want it. The team that came first, Corpus Christi, they're a hungry team. We got to match that. We really got to match that. Our toughness has to get stronger. We have to fight better for every point from the start of matches all the way to the end. That's all got to improve.
The softball team dropped the rubber game of a 3-game series to Northwestern State in their home finale on Sunday, allowing 6 unanswered runs in a 7-1 setback that eliminated the club from postseason contention. This game would also serve as senior day as the program honored Katie Holmes, Brittany Marcette, and Katie Mulder. The first game of Saturday's doubleheader ended with a 6-4 Lady Demons victory. Nichols evened things up in Game 2 with a 5-4 victory on Marcette's hit in the team's final at-bat. The Colonels will look for redemption as they wrap up the season this weekend with a 3-game series at Central Arkansas. For the Seth Thibodeaux Show, I'm Tiffany Williams.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Back here with the head coach of the Colonel baseball team, Seth Thibodeaux. It's good to see these other programs having success. Tennis, both teams get into the postseason. Both men's and women's basketball had solid years. Football building as well. And just all around the department, good things are happening.
That's fun. It's fun to see these kids work so hard. And the coaches work really hard to recruit good players and see some success there. It's good for the entire program. It's good for Nichols.
Don't forget about soccer, too. They had their best season ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week it's Jamie Springer as she took first in the javelin at the J. Fred Duckett Twilight at Rice University on Saturday. Springer threw a personal best and school record 50.54 meters. The throw was 4 feet faster than the previous school record, 8 feet further than Springer's personal best, and 20 feet ahead of anyone at the competition. That's pretty impressive. Here's a quick look at all that is on tap for Nichols Athletics this weekend. Light schedule as the school year winds down. The track and field team competes on Saturday while softball visits Central Arkansas for a doubleheader. The softball squad closes out their season against the Sugar Bears coming up on Sunday. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. Look forward to the Southeastern Series this weekend. You're tuned into the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Rounding out the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, the Nichols baseball team in first place in the Southland Conference, one game up on Corpus Christi with 3 weeks left in the regular season. Coach, we got a minute left of the show. Southeastern Louisiana on the docket this weekend. We got to have some Colonel fans out here Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
It's so important to pack the place out. We don't have many of these games left at our place. The season has flown by, but great weather expected, a great opponent expected. It's going to be some very intense baseball.
Can't wait for it. Saturday, 6 o'clock, will be in Hammond Friday and Sunday.
Correct.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Best of luck, continued success. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Wags.
He's the head coach of the Colonels, Seth Thibodeaux. Folks, for more information on Nichols Athletics, check out our website, GoColonels.com. It's GEAUX, GoColonels.com. You can find all the information there, not only about Coach Tibbs' program, but all of our athletic programs, all 14 of them, here at Nichols State University. For Alex Tullis, Tiffany Williams, and the entire crew, we'll talk to you again next week. Don't forget, Colonels and Lions here at Didier Field in Thibodaux, Saturday, 6 o'clock, championship hopes for this Nichols baseball team. We'll talk to you again next week. Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. This program has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.